Cool Dad here again. How we doing? Time for another weekly cooking episode of Cooking with Cool Dad. It sounds cool, what can I say? And being the cool dad, I gotta make everything as cool as possible. This week, I am going to be once again using the air fryer, which I'm probably going to switch it up. I was looking at what I have in the fridge, what I've got stockpiled, looking at what my ingredients were. Wanted to do something fun and different, and I gotta admit, I do love my air fryer. It's new, it's the novelty, what can I say? So, this week, I'm going to do chicken tenders from scratch in the air fryer. If you have an air fryer, you got some chicken, you got kids at home that want their chicken tenders or chicken nuggets, they're missing that because you don't want to go out, we can make them at home. So, buckle in, let's get this going, let's have some fun and make some good food. Okay, I'm going to start with the breading. Now, breading you can do any way you like, season it how you like. There's no real hardcore rules as to how to do it. I'm going to show you how I do it. I start with seasoned panko breadcrumbs. Do I measure things? No, I'm Italian, I don't measure. There's a pinch of this and a smidge of that. Actually, I'm going to put a little more in there. I'm not making a huge amount today because I'm feeding one, maybe two people. So, and just for the record, I washed my hands before I press start on the camera. So yes, wash your hands, that's always important. I add a little bit of all-purpose flour. There we go. Oof. And you can see. Now, as far as seasoning goes, whatever you really feel like. I've got New York City style pizza seasoning. Throw a little of that in there. Let's see. And here's the thing to check. When you look at seasonings, take a look on the back and see what's in them. Cinnamon, anise, dextrose, ginger, nutmeg, and cloves. Okay, this is Oriental 5 spices. The thing to watch out for when you're seasoning, hidden salt. Now, even if you're not on a salt-restricted diet, you don't want to overdo the salt when you're doing your seasonings because it can really throw the flavor off. So, lemon pepper seasoning. Salt, first ingredient, good to know. Sugar, citric acid, black pepper, garlic, onion, tricalcium phosphate, lemon oil, yellow lake number 5. Interesting. I may have to rethink some of my spices now that I'm reading them more. But I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon pepper in there. And let's see. I got some Jamaican jerk seasoning here. What's in this? More salt, allspice, garlic, onion, black pepper, celery seed, MSG. Yeah, no MSG in this house. Okay. Is there anything else I want to throw in here? Let me just take a quick peek down below and see if I've got anything down here that I want to add. Every once in a while I come across something interesting in the down below. Steak rub. Spicy garlic. Yeah, why not? And looks like I'm going to have to make a run for seasonings at some point. My seasonings are getting kind of low. I'm going to say out the seasoning salt. There we go. This is what happens when you work a lot and don't get to stay at home much. When you get to stay at home, your spices are seized up. A little bit of steak rub in here. I know I'm putting steak rub in a chicken dish. Go figure. But what the heck. Now let's add a touch of spicy garlic. Maybe. Didn't whack that up enough. So I'm trying not to break the can too while I'm at it. So a little bit spicy garlic. There we go. Okay. Once you've added your seasonings in, I use a fork. Start stirring it up. Now, the key to stirring your breading is getting an even, consistent look to it. Add a little bit of flour clumpies there. I just go through and keep stirring until it's kind of all universally incorporated together. Looks a little something like that. Now, on to our chicken prep. I have 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts here that I'm going to use for this. And here's the neat thing. This can be used, if you want to make chicken parm, you can use this same recipe for doing your chicken parm as well. Instead of cutting it up like I'm about to do, you just pound it out flat and everything else remains the same. Actually, speaking of, come on, dude. I knew I was missing something. Forgot to get my eggs out ahead of time. Okay. So, as far as cutting the chicken, you can adjust these any way you'd like. I personally like to cut across the breast. And I like to, maybe 1/4 inch thick, if that. I like to go like slightly thinner. It's what I've found works for me. And I'll tell you one trick I found for cutting chicken. If you're like me and you buy in bulk and stick it in the freezer, you don't want it to be 100% thawed. You want to have a little stiffness to the chicken while you're at it. That's going to make it a lot easier for you to cut the chicken. And if you don't like the feel of chicken, grab a pair of them gloves that are pretty much useless everywhere else and use them for cutting chicken. I won't go into that right now. But so again, I'm just going through, cutting, put it aside. And when I get to the end, I got this little end piece here. See it? Boom, that's fine on its own. Bam. Move on to the second one. And the nice thing about these, anything you don't like, if I make these all up and don't all get eaten, no big deal. They go in the fridge, pop them back in the air fryer later on for a few minutes, and boom, I got more chicken tenders to eat. That is, I will say, as a side note, one of the things I really do enjoy about my air fryer is the fact it's great for reheating food. Now, as you can see, this one is getting a little bit longer as I go down, longer and skinnier. That's okay. A little bit of variety in your chicken strips is not a bad thing. Okay, now that we have our chicken cut, we're ready to egg it, bread it, and throw it in the air fryer. Now, I usually put 2 eggs, and there we go. Got some shell in there. That's what the fork is good for. And you know what? It happens. It happens to the best. And shell is a pain in the ass. I said ass. To dig out. And you know what? This will probably make the final edit too, just because I want you guys to see that it happens. You know what? Don't feel that if you got some shell in your egg, you are a failure as a cook, because that is not the case. We all do it. Hell, I'm not a professional cook. I just cook. Hey, got it. Okay. Now, scramble that up real good. Just kind of get it all well incorporated. I'm a little old school when it comes to scrambling my eggs. Won't lie. I much prefer a fork to a whisk. Okay, now, you want to keep your hands semi-clean? Use the fork. Use the force, Luke. Sorry. Bad Star Wars pun, I know. You don't want to necessarily do all of them at the same time. And yes, you can hear the dogs. They're on timeout today because I got raw chicken on the counter. I don't need them getting into it. Once I get this a little more along the way, I may, during one of the breaks, let them out. So, for the amount of chicken you're going to want to bread at any given time is going to be based on the size of your air fryer, or if you're doing them in oil, which you can do. I always did mine in just deep fried them in oil because it was fun and we didn't really have the air fryer. So you use what you've got. Now here's another thing is that I mentioned before that when they're still semi-frozen, a little bit stiff, it's easier for cutting. It also makes them easier to handle with the fork. There we go. Okay, now I've got some in there. Leave the fork there. I'm literally just going to take and shuffle it all around a little bit. And you don't have to do it that way. You can do it any way you like. But what I do, oops, there we go. Once I got them lightly coated, I'll take each one, set it on some breadcrumbs, throw some breadcrumbs on top of it, and I push down. Not super hard, not super light, but flip it over, make sure it's well breaded across the board. That little piece of chicken has turned into this. We press it out. As I do this, I'm going to set them into the air fryer. And the nice thing about doing small batches of breading is if you have different people who like different flavors in your home, you can do different batches of breading. There's no rules on that. Just, make up what you need. Make it up as you go along. Be creative. It's fun. I always joke. I always joke about the fact that being Italian means that food is life. But food is also fun. And when food stops being fun, you got a problem. Food should always be fun. It's food is what brings us together. Family dinner, family breakfast, hell. I mean, there's nothing saying it has to be a family dinner. It could be a family breakfast, a family lunch. But it's a time to sit down with the people we love and care about. Well, obviously right now it's a little tougher. But it's a time to sit down with the people we love and care about and connect with them. And I think in some ways we need to do a little more of that. Yes, people work crazy schedules. We get that. But you know what? Make the time to do it. Because the kids get older, people drift apart. Enjoy the time you got while it's there. I never really get into it, but I spent most of my life working as an emergency medical technician. I will vouch for the fact that life is too damn short. We got to enjoy what we've got while it's here. So, that being said, that one's a little bit bigger. Put that right in the middle. Now, I'm going to stop the camera for a minute. Okay, so got my chicken in the pan. My air fryer is a 5-quart Go-Wise USA air fryer. It maxes out at 400 degrees, but I will tell you this: I have yet to. I think the only thing I've found so far that doesn't do as well in this as it does in the oil is tostones, and that's the Goya ones you buy frozen. If you don't know what tostones are, they are smashed fried plantains. I've got some ideas on that though. So, I am going to do 370. That works. I'm going to put them in for, let's say 8 minutes. And I'll be back with you in 8 minutes and see how that goes. Okay, quick update. I let it go about 5 minutes at 370. They're definitely cooked, but I'm not getting that golden brown I love to see. So I bumped it up to 400, put it on for an extra couple of minutes, and I got about 3 minutes left. So we're going to see how that comes out. But I want to take a quick minute and talk to you guys about something that is important to me, but that I think everybody needs to be aware of in these times. With everything that's going on with the whole COVID-19, stay at home, don't go out, it's not just our routines that have been disrupted. If you have cats, you have dogs, I have dogs, their routine is disrupted too. They're used to you going out in the morning or whatever time you leave for work, coming back when you're done. Now you're home all the time. So their routine's a little disrupted too. So you have to remember that if you're seeing your cat or your dog or any other pet you have if they've got behavior changes now in the last couple of weeks you're starting to see, they're a little anxious too. Because their routine has been disrupted and they don't know why. They haven't got the first clue why you're home all the time. They don't know what COVID-19 is. They just know all of a sudden mom or dad's home all the time and I don't know what to do with myself. But here's the other side to that too. When this is all done and over with, we all go back to our regular schedules. What are they going to do? They're going to be like, whoa, mom and dad are normally here. Where'd they go? So yes, bear that in mind. You know, our animals are going through this too. And it wouldn't be a cool day video if I didn't vape, so I got to get the vape out. Now that my hands are washed for the umpteenth time today. The whole point to these videos, I got 1 minute left here, so I'm going to kill the last minute doing this. The whole point of these videos is to maybe give you a little inspiration of something to try while you've got all this spare time. It sucks. Don't get me wrong, it absolutely sucks. But we do what we got to do. My biggest complaint right now, my favorite vape shop is not open. What can you say? If that's the worst thing I can bitch about right now, I'd say I'm doing pretty well. I really want to pull this open and take a look, but I'm trying to be good. Because right before I started the camera up, I took a look. They were starting to look good, so we'll see how they come out. Okay. What I am going to do while I'm talking to you guys is get some sauce out of my fridge. Now, you can dunk your chicken tenders in whatever sauce you like. Personally, I like to shop at a local place here in Syracuse called Pepper Palace, and they have just a whole selection of hot sauces. There we go. Hot sauces and such. This is a Mountain Q Select Bourbon Barbecue Sauce. Very tasty. Highly recommended. So I'm going to pour a little bit out just so I've got it here, because I'm going to want to bust into these and see how they taste, because that's the important part. Okay. So I have a feeling they may be a little overdone, but I did not get the usual golden brown color that I love to get on these that you get when you're cooking in the oil. But let's see how they... Oh, ow, hot. Definitely hot. So, ow, burn myself. I am going to get the next batch in there and give this batch a minute to cool a little bit so I don't burn my face off when I go to try them. Oh, this is making a mess of my air fryer basket. It's okay. It cleans up real easy, so I'm not complaining about that. That one there. It's like Jenga for adults in reverse. Where can I find a piece that'll fit that little spot right there? That works. Okay, so this batch, I'm going to actually bump it up to 400. I'm going to do this one for 5 minutes on 400. Okay, let's see. Not bad. Yeah, a little overcooked. I can't deny, a little overcooked. 8 minutes was too much. But, actually, more than 8 minutes, more like 10 minutes, 12 minutes. But the flavor's good. The consistency's right. I really gotta say, I'm impressed. No oil involved. Reasonably healthy. Minimal carbs. If you're like me, you pay attention to your carbs. Not like, oh my God, I can't have carbs. Just, I pay attention to what I'm eating. I gotta admit, I have a feeling that one's going to be a keeper once I dial in the time exactly. That's actually pretty good. Some days I make a big mess of myself. This is why I should not wear black t-shirts when I'm cooking. But what are you going to do? So,
I got 4 minutes left here. I'm probably going to kill the camera for a minute, and then it'll be a jump to when they're done. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm going to try. I got another batch or two left here, so I'm going to try and get this time dialed in by the time we're done with this video. See if we can't give you the perfect recipe for doing chicken tenders in the air fryer. And you know this is actual chicken because you cut it up. It's not like going to some fast food place where you think it might be chicken, but you're not sure. It looks like chicken, tastes like chicken, still not sure if it is chicken. I'm not knocking anything. I'm just saying I like to know what my food is. That's what happens. So I'll see you again in a couple minutes. Okay, so this batch is done. Okay, let's see. I think these might just be where I need to be. Got a little bit better color to them. Ow. Yeah, I was going to use the tongs for this, but there we go. So let's see. I got to give that a minute. Let me put the next batch in, and we'll see how this batch came out. So I think definitely 400 is a good temperature. Let's see. Gosh. Oh, and there goes my phone. Oh. 400. Four minutes. 5 minutes. 4 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And we're off. But overall, I have to say, I would definitely call this a success. Cleanup. Got to do the cleanup as you go along. This is not sponsored by anybody. This is just me making food for fun and for enjoyment and sharing it with you guys. Overall, I definitely say it's a success. The air fryer can be used to make homemade chicken tenders. I was watching Forged in the Fire last night on YouTube, and I always get a kick out of when, what's his name, Doug Marquita says, "Eat will cut." So I will say this, eat will cook. So that is chicken tenders, homemade from scratch in the air fryer. And I gotta say, I'm impressed. It works. Give it a try. Have some fun. You've got all this time. It's time to experiment in the kitchen. Have a good time with it. Don't forget, there's a lot of shit going on in the world right now. Yes, I said the S word. A lot of craziness. A lot of uncertainty. There's always going to be bad people out there. The best thing we can do right now is be one of the good people. We can take the time to reach out, make sure that elderly neighbor or that neighbor with health issues is okay. Give them a call, give them a text. You know, maybe talk to them through their door. Say, don't open the door. I just want to make sure you're okay. Do they need cleaning supplies? If you've got a couple extra things of wipes or something like that that you can share with them if they need it, just be a decent human being. We've all got the potential to do amazing, amazing things. And sometimes we just have to take a time to step back and look at our lives and look at ourselves, see what changes need to be made so we can just achieve that amazing potential. What better time to do it than now? I have faith in you. I will see you guys next time. And the dogs say so too. Cooking with a Cool Dad. Till next week.